These are all the cars on the carwow long-term test fleet, and in this video I'm going to review each of them in just 1 minute, and of course I'm going to launch them to see how quick they are from 0 to 60 miles an hour over the standing quarter mile, and I'm going to do a brake test from 100 miles an hour as well. I think this car might win overall, but anyway, let's get on with it.
Buying a new car? Then head to carwow and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. Carwow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Let's start off this video with a review of the BMW M3 Competition. Now, to make sure I stick to a minute and don't waffle on for ages, because I have a tendency to do that, I've got Julia here to act as an invigilator. She'll be timing me, and after we've done that segment, I'll then launch the car, see how quick it is. Okay, Julia, shall we go for it?
Yeah, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go!
So, the BMW M3 Competition. This blends sports car with family car. Now, its grille is a bit controversial, it's grown on me. I like it. I also like the green paint. Not so sure about the optional Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. They're great on track, not so good on a wet, cold road. I'll be switching back to the standard Pilot Sport 4S's soon. Can't fault the interior though. Love the carbon fibre bucket seats, which are an upgrade on this car, and the two-tone effect. Infotainment system's good as well, and you've got Android Auto as standard. Yes, Android Auto in a BMW. There's plenty of space here in the back seats, as you can see. Though I've noticed that when I fit the child seat in here for my daughter, it's rear facing. Because these seat bases are quite sloped like that, she tends to like slop a little bit forward in it. There we go. Anyway, the boot's big for all the baby paraphernalia. We've got 480 litres of space. Someone's bought me a present there. But overall, I like this car. You know, it's fun to drive. It's relatively comfy, a bit bumpy over certain bumps. So overall, a great all-rounder, and it's an absolute blast on track. I've had this thing on track. Smash it around. Let's launch it. This BMW M3 Competition has a 3-litre twin-turbo straight six with 510 horsepower and 650 Nm of torque. Drives the rear wheels only via an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Now I'm going to see how quick it is from 0 to 60. BMW says it will do it in 3.9 seconds, but what's the reality? Well, I'm going to find out with my specialist timing gear here. You've probably noticed my rather cool-looking, dense driving gloves match the exterior colour of the car. Might make me go quicker. Let's see. Good. Oh, it launches so well for rear wheel drive. 3.8 seconds to 60. What's the quarter mile? 11.79. Now, if you want to see a car that can launch and do the quarter mile in a similar time, that's a lot less expensive, click on the pop-out banner up there to check out what it is. Check it out. Right, brake test time. Is it all set up? Full emergency stop from 60 miles an hour. What are we going to do? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, stamping on the pedal. How far? 32 metres to stop from 60. Not bad, that. Really good, in fact. Really good. Impressed. Now we come to the Honda CR-V. So go on then.
3, 2, 1, go!
So the Honda CR-V, it's a practical, family-friendly SUV. Design-wise, it's a little bit, whoa. And one thing you can do is upgrade the alloy wheels, but if you want to go to 19 inches, these are the 18s, it's going to cost you over £2,000, which is just nuts. This is a hybrid, not a plug-in, but I'll explain a bit more about that when I launch it. Inside, actually, I should point out that I've asked people to just leave the cars as they've been using them. So this has got this person's kit in. So the design of the inside is all right. What's not so good though is the infotainment system. It's a bit rubbish. However, you're just going to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I like the beige seats in this, and they are quite comfy. In fact, it's a very comfy car, though it's a little bit bland to drive. It's spacious though, really good for passengers. And look, you can fold down the seats and they go completely flat. I just have to move this bucket out of the way. Next thing is the boot. It's over 390 litres, nice square shape, easy to load, though the tailgate takes ages to open. But look, you can fit loads of stuff in it like we have done there, and you can fold down the rear seats like that by pulling onto these levers. This Honda CR-V has a 2-litre naturally aspirated petrol engine mated to an electric motor, and it drives all 4 wheels via a single-speed gearbox. It's quite a strange setup how it all operates. Combined power output is estimated at 185 horsepower, and the torque is 315 Nm. 0 to 60 is supposed to take 9.2 seconds. Let's see what it really does. Here we go, come on. It's quite a lot of noise there. Quite a lot of noise from that engine just screaming. 0 to 60 in 7.89 seconds. Way quicker than they said. And it's still howling. What's the quarter mile? 16.3 seconds. I feel so sorry for the car. It was just like, ah! Just down my throat. Anyway, let's brake test this bad boy. I don't know what I called it, a bad boy. Listen to that. Oh, that's awful. And it's doing some weird slippy thing. It's like, I don't know, it's odd, this gearbox. Here we go, let's brake. Now, full emergency stop. Whoa, it squirms under braking quite a bit and dives. Okay, stopping distance, 33 metres. Apologies for all the rattling. It's all this gubbins that I have to have in the car with me for reasons. Microphone. Radio to talk to the team, radio to talk to the track. You didn't need to know any of that. Now it's time for the Cupra Leon 300.
3, 2, 1, go!
So the Cupra Leon 300, it doesn't look as sporty as it actually is. This thing is really good to drive. You know, it's got a fast engine, it handles well. It actually gets adaptive dampers with 15 different settings which you can control through the infotainment screen. The infotainment screen itself is a little bit laggy and it's a bit annoying that the temperature controls of these sliders, hard to operate them when it's dark. The cabin, it's quite shapely but a little bit dark. In terms of the back space, look, there we go, reasonable room in the rear. These sporty seats do block the view of rear passengers. The boot is fairly large. It's 380, I can't even open it, 380 litres like that. So it is a practical family car that's also loads of fun to drive. The only thing that really gives it away that it is sporty, the quad tailpipes, and they are real tailpipes, which is awesome. Actually, they're not fully real. They're enhanced surrounds. The real exhaust pipes are within there. So yeah, this is fun to drive, easy to live with, reasonably priced, and it's the kind of car that you could actually get under the radar of your partner. They wouldn't know how sporty it really is. The Cupra 300, as the name suggests, has 300 horsepower from its 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine. It also has 400 Newton meters of torque. It drives the front wheels only in the hatchback version, although you can get a 4-wheel drive estate version via a 7-speed automatic dual clutch gearbox. 0-60 supposed to take 5.7 seconds. So let's find out what it really does. Here we go. Oh, front wheel drive issues. Lots of front wheel drive issues, but still better than claimed. 5.58 seconds. What's the quarter mile? 13.78 seconds. That's all right, that is. Feels quick once it's going. If it was 4-wheel drive, it'd be even quicker. Okay, brake test time. Right, let's do a full emergency stop now. Whoop. How long did it take to stop? 33 metres. Not great, but not terrible either. Next up is the Volvo V90 T6 Recharge R design. Oh, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go!
So this car, I think, looks really cool. I love this brown paint. Others on the carwow team don't like it at all, but it is a stylish car. It's a big, long car, and this one is a heavy car. It weighs 2 tons because it's the hybrid and you've got electric motor and you've got some batteries. I wouldn't go for the hybrid, though the latest hybrids are slightly better. This one has an electric only range of about 30 miles. The very latest ones will do 52 miles. They're really hybrids are for tax breaks. They're not so good to drive as the normal diesel or petrol cars because they're heavier. They feel a bit lumpy. The inside is really nice. High quality feel, very comfy seats, brilliant seating position. The infotainment system and digital dials are looking old though. I do like the automatic cruise control that you can get with Volvo's, really, really good, makes driving easy. Loads of space in the back seats, love those back seats, lots of headroom as well. Boot capacity is 560 litres, so it's very practical because it's an estate, but the boot is not quite as big as a Mercedes E-Class estate, so you might want one of the, so you might run one of those cars instead. It's the panic, it's like in an exam, you know, where they give you the 10-minute warning and your hand just goes completely like bonkers, like you're trying to finish up. Anyway, there you go, let's launch it. This Volvo has a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine combined with an electric motor to give you a total system output of 335 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque. It's got all-wheel drive and an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Let's launch it. Oh, it's supposed to do 0-60 in 5.6 seconds. Now let's launch it. Oh, seems to want to pull through its brakes. Let's try again. Instant hybrid takeoff, that's good. But what's the time? 5.59. Bang on what they're saying. Oh, sorry, 0.01 of a second difference. And 14.09 for the quarter mile. So it took off pretty well, but then it tailed off. Probably something to do with its weight. heavy car, this. Brake test time. See how long it takes to stop from 60. Full emergency stop now. Oh my God, it did the full Volvo thing on me, where it just like squeezed me so tight with the seat belt. Stopped from 60 miles an hour in 32 meters. It's not bad at all. Now we have the Skoda Octavia VRS Estate. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go!
So this car blends family transport with a little bit of sportiness. Obviously not as fast as the BMW M3, but it is easily as practical. Looks a little bit more exciting than your standard Skodas because it's got like blacked out grille, VRS badging, like front splitter, side skirts, rated alloy wheels. Inside you got sport seats. Nice bit of Alcantara on the dash. What's not so nice though is that infotainment system glitches. Sometimes it just freezes, and Lewis has been driving this a few times and he's had to do long journeys with absolutely no stereo. One thing he's noticed is that the speaker on the top of the dash is also on its way out and buzzing a little bit, and because this car plays engine tunes through its speakers to make it seem more sporty, when you put your foot down and accelerate, you get a buzzing through that speaker. Very odd. Back seats are full of all his stuff, but there's loads of room. Massive rear seats in this car. Look, you can see all his camera gear. The boot is over 600 litres. It's absolutely massive, and that's why to have this car, it's a brilliant camera car, and it's fun to drive, sort of, and it's comfy too for a sporty car. Great all round. Skodas are supposed to be sensible, apart from this one, and that's why it has a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol with 245 horsepower and 370 newton meters of torque. It's driving the front wheels only via a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox with launch control. 0 to 60 is supposed to take 6.7 seconds, but let's see what I can get out of it. Here we go. Launch control active. Oh, front wheel drive, struggling with traction, but we're off now. Come on. 6.43 to 60. What's the quarter mile? Do better than 14 seconds. Come on. Yep, 14.78. Now, if you want to see one of my favourite fast estate cars and the offer on it through Carwow, click on the pop-out banner there, or follow the link in the description to find out what it is and what the offer is. Right, let's do a brake test. But before we do, have a listen to this. Remember I was talking about the speaker? Can you hear that noise? Try and get my mic closer to it. Yeah. I mean, that's just stupid, isn't it? Anyway, it's really annoying, that noise. Here we go. Full emergency stop coming in now. Ooh. Did it stop in a shorter distance than the Cupra? And indeed it did. Look, 32 meters. That's really good. Now we come to quite an unusual car. It's the Peugeot 508 SW Peugeot Sport Engineered Hybrid 4 360. Good job the car's name isn't part of the minute, otherwise it'd be a minute up. Go on, count me in.
3, 2, 1, go!
So this is a very unusual thing. It's a plug-in hybrid, 2 electric motors, all kind of craziness going on. And it looks awesome, doesn't it? It really does, with these highlighted accents on the brake calipers as well, in this grey colour. Though it is rather expensive, and being a hybrid, it's a bit heavy, 1,800 kilos. So while it is fun to drive and does handle very well, it's not as sporty or as fun overall as a BMW M340i Touring. Have a look in there. I do like the design of the interior. Peugeot's interior is not really cool. They feel high quality. It is fully loaded, this car. It's got like ventilated seats and all that kind of stuff. They'll massage you as well. Some people might not get on with a small steering wheel. I actually like the design. The space in the back is pretty decent, though it's not quite as roomy in the back as that Skoda Octavia VRS, but it's going to be fine for people over 6 foot. The boot capacity is just over 500 litres, so decent size, but yet again not quite as big as that Skoda's. Though look, it is a nice square shape and you have some shiny bits and pieces which make you feel a little bit better about the fact you spent. This Peugeot has a 1.6 litre turbocharged petrol engine, but it's also got 2 electric motors, one at the front, one at the back, and combined you have 360 horsepower and 520 newton meters of torque. So it's all-wheel drive, and we've got an automatic gearbox. It's supposed to do 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, but let's find out the reality. Here we go. Ooh, feels pretty rapid. What's the 0 to 60? 5.85, a bit slower than I was expecting. Quarter mile is 14.22. Do you know what? If you want to see a car that can do a quarter mile quite a bit quicker and is £20,000 cheaper than this through Carwow, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description to find out what it is. Right, let's do a brake test. Do you know what? while I'm doing this brake test, let's just give it another 0 to 60. .74, a bit better. Anyway, let's do the brake test. Let's back off a bit, get down to 60. Let's see what we can do. Full emergency stop now. Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, this car stops better than it accelerates. It stopped from 60 miles an hour in 31 meters, which actually is really impressive considering it's quite a heavy car. 1,800 kilos because of all the battery gubbins. This is the Vauxhall Mokka Elite Nav Premium. Let's review it.
3, 2, 1, go!
So for a small SUV, this looks really cool. I love the design of the lights. Very, very nice. I like what they've done there. Blue paint, wouldn't have it in blue. I'd go for the white, looks way better. I do like the fact you get a contrasting roof. This is the top of the range version, so it's got all the bells and whistles, and it is well kitted out. I like the two-tone seats, that's really nice. The general quality of the interior is fairly decent for this class of vehicle. 2 big screens there, one for the driver, 1 main infotainment system. It's all pretty easy to use, and of course you've got your mobile phone connectivity. One thing that's not so good about this car is the space in the back. It's really quite tight in there for a small SUV. They normally have more room than that, so if you need to carry big adults in the back, not so good. As for the drive, it's a reasonably comfy car, though you do find it gets a little bit jiggly over bumps. Okay, so let's get into the boot. Oh, the bloody hell.
50 seconds!
There it is, I'm running out of time. The boot's small, 350 litres, which is very small once again. So this is generally a nice car, but it's just not that practical for a small SUV. This Vauxhall Mokka has a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol with 130 horsepower and 230 newton meters of torque. It's driving the front wheels only via an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Let's do this. Oh, what's going on? I freaked it out by trying to launch it and holding it on the brake. Doesn't like a brake boost. I think I'm just going to floor the throttle. In fact, I'm going to turn it off and on again. Oh, shut up. There you go. There we go, all's fine. So to launch this, I'm going to have to just floor it, see what happens. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Not exactly a stellar takeoff. Come on, can you beat the 9.2 seconds claim to 60? No, 9.7 seconds, bit disappointed. What's the quarter mile? 17.51. Is that going to be the worst of the day? Probably. Okay, let's do a brake test. Well, I've got to get up to 60. Let's just see if I can do a bit better job of it this time. Come on, get your 9.2. What's he going to do to 60? 9.65, a bit better. Anyway, I can brake now. Full emergency stop. Let's just get the speed down. Here we go. Now. Oh, it kind of like wiggled about a bit under hard braking then, and it took 35 meters to stop from 60 miles an hour. Okay then, Audi RS5 Sportback.
3, 2, 1, go!
So the great thing about the Audi RS5 Sportback is that you have a practical family car that is bonkers quick. Similar then to the M3, however, it's even more practical and easy to live with. It stands out from the standard car because of the extra RS-ness there, like bigger vents and stuff like that. You actually have like wider haunches, bigger hips, like that. Because this is the 4-sprung model, the range topper, you get 20-inch alloys, but despite that, because it's got adaptive dampers as standard, it's so comfy. In fact, you wouldn't know you're in a high-performance car until you put your foot down, then this thing flies. In fact, being the 4-sprung, it's got its top speed increase from 155 miles an hour to 174 miles an hour. It is so quick, and it's pretty lovely inside as well. Even though this car's been around for a while and had a few updates, it still feels very modern, very expensive. It's got an updated infotainment system, which is very good, with all the usual phone connectivity, and the seats are comfy. They've got massage seats. Look, there's plenty of room in the back. There really is. And the boot is 480 litres, and being a hatchback, it's more practical. That's why we've got it filled full of all this camera gear, and you can fold down the seats and carry more stuff. This Audi has a 2.9 litre twin-turbo V6 with 450 horsepower and 600 newton meters of torque. It's supposed to do 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, which is the same quoted time as the BMW M3. But will it go faster than the M3 did when I launched that? Let's find out. Let's do it. Oh, that quattro all-wheel drive helps. Yes, and the numbers show it. 3.66 to 60, but what about the quarter mile? Will it be quicker than the BMWs? 11.97. Interesting then, isn't it? The BMW, obviously being rear-wheel drive, isn't as quick off the line, but then it pulls it back. The Audi isn't quite as quick over the quarter mile, but it's still really impressive. Now I'm just going to set this up for brake test. Okay, brake test from 60 miles an hour. Here we go, full emergency stop coming up right now. Whee! Come on. Look, the distance is exactly the same as the BMW, 31 meters. Finally then, we've come to the Toyota GR Yaris. We've saved the best till last. I'm going to review it.
3, 2, 1, go!
So this GR Yaris is such a cool looking thing. So every body panel is completely different to the standard Yaris, apart from the front and rear lights and the door mirrors. I mean, look at it, so mean, especially in this pearlescent paint. Love the wheel designs. They're forged alloys, so they're lightweight on this particular car for better handling. Also, this has the circuit pack, so you've got a limited slip diff at the front and at the back. But as standard, the GR Yaris gets a switchable all-wheel drive system that you can change the bias from the front to the rear, or have it 50-50. Inside, it's not quite so cool, a bit dark and dingy, and it's quite hard sometimes to see through this gap here because of that big rear view mirror. Like the seats though, some people complain they're too high, they're not absolutely fine. This car is absolutely awesome. It's got a carbon roof, though they've wrapped the carbon for some reason, I don't know why. This thing is awesome to drive over British roads. I forgot to show you the back seats. In fact, let's not bother because they're really small, as is the boot. It's like 170 litres. However, this thing, super fun to drive, handles brilliantly. It's surprisingly comfy over bumps. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, I love driving it. It's perfect for British roads. This Yaris GR has a 1.6 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder petrol engine with 261 horsepower and 360 newton meters of torque, driving all four wheels via a 6-speed manual gearbox. So this is down to my skill as well as the car's performance. No pressure. Here we go. Not an amazing start. Come on, not 60, 6.16. Do better than that. Let's have another go. Come on. 5.7, I'll take that. Come on, what's the quarter mile? 13.96. I have had faster out of a GR Yaris. And if you want to see that video, click on the pop-up banner up there to go see how fast I actually went in it. Brake test from 60. Oh, what are we going to do? Felt good. Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! This stopped from 60 miles an hour in 30 meters. Honestly, the brakes on this GR Yaris are immense. Immense. I love this car so much. Well, there you go. That is 9 cars reviewed in a minute, and them also launched from 0 to 60 and over the standing quarter mile. I never thought I could be so efficient with my car reviewing. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you didn't, bugger off. Let me know some other videos you'd like to see in the comments below. Click on those windows there to watch some more videos, and if you click on that box there, you can go to CarWow to see how much money you can save on your next car.
Time's up!